Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. This week is a roundup of the travel news over the last 7 days, and there's also some travel tips and there's investigations as well. Investigations aren't by me, hands up straight off at the beginning. I found these while looking for travel news. And we're going to start off with the budget flights going between the USA and Europe. Eric Rosen from Bloomberg has taken a look at the new routes to see if they really are as cheap as the headline figures. The latest transatlantic airline to join the budget race is Level, and it's from the parent company of British Airways, Aer Lingus and Iberia. From June, it'll be flying from Barcelona to LA, to Oakland, to Argentina and to the Dominican Republic. And as it's an American article, these are all in dollars. The prices start from $105 one way. Because of the way things are going, Air France are also considering following it, and they're going to come up perhaps with an airline called Boost later this year. But with low-cost fares, you get what you pay for, which is inconvenient schedules, maybe arrivals or departures from inconvenient airports. Some people think going from Gatwick is really inconvenient when compared to Heathrow. And perhaps you don't actually land in the city where you're intending to go, a bit like Ryanair from the past. Or there could be loads of hidden fees. So Rosen took a look at 3 existing budget airlines flying across the Atlantic and looked at what they could really cost after fees, and if you needed to have some of the necessary options such as baggage. So he started with Level, and the promise is $105, 99 euros fares between Spain and the US. And the perks are each seat has its own 9-inch personal entertainment system, in-flight Wi-Fi if you want to pay for it. Pay $500 each way for premium economy to get 6 inches of extra legroom plus a free course meal, noise cancelling headphones and 2 free checked-in bags. The hidden fees. The basic fares include just a single piece of hand luggage, and the airline charges extra for checked bags, onboard meals and amenity kits with a blanket and a pillow. So what does it really cost? Well, Rosen says as much as $1,000. The cheapest advertised fares from Oakland to Barcelona, $254 round trip, were sold out as far as he could find doing the research. The best deal he came up with was a $450 round trip ticket for February in 2018. The fares for June and July were twice as much as $900. Adding a checked bag and a meal cost $65 in each direction, on average. So, do you save anything? Well, compared to similar flights on American Airlines, British Airways, Iberia and Vueling, you save between $300 to $600. Next one up is Norwegian. And the promise is a comprehensive network of routes that start at $65 between New York and Dublin or Edinburgh. The latest addition to the routes is $199 from Seattle to London Gatwick. The perks? Well, the perks are service out of 13 US airports into 123 European cities, which gives it the broadest route coverage of any transatlantic low-cost carrier. The fleet is made up mostly of Boeing 787 Dreamliners, means you're likely to get free video on demand and built-in power outlets. Sticker shock. Well, the lowest economy fares don't include checked bags, $65, seat selection, $45 each way, drinks, $4 to $15, blankets, $5, snacks, $4 to $11, or meals, $45. But you can get those extras in bundles to save money overall. So what does it really cost? Well, Bloomberg tracked down $199 fares from Seattle to London, but return legs started at $279 on most days from September to November. Add in the extra cost and you're looking for around $660 for a round trip minimum. So what do you save? Well, not much, according to Bloomberg. British Airways and Virgin Atlantic operate on this route, and their lowest average fares in the same time frame come in at $628. Seat selection is, of course, extra, up to $75. A small price to pay when you get more valuable frequent flyer miles with a bigger air carrier. Last up is WOW Air. The promise is $200 round-trip fares from 7 US cities, which now includes Chicago, to Reykjavik. And the perks? Well, the planes are no frills with universal power plugs instead of onboard entertainment systems, so bring your iPad if you can still take it on board. More of that later. But frequent fare sales make it relatively easy to score a bargain. The sticker shock here is convoluted optional fees vary depending on your route and include everything from carry-on bags, $39.99 to $49.99, to selecting a seat, $8.99 to $11.99 in each direction, and check bags of $49.99 to $69.99. You can also pay extra for extra legroom, cancellation protection, and there's quite a long list of extras according to Bloomberg. So what does it really cost? Well, Chicago to Reykjavik fares were available for $99, but only a few of them. And now it's more like $390. Add luggage, food and a decent seat, you'll spend around $660 on the same ticket. So what will you save? Nothing. Iceland Air services for the same route for $628 include checked luggage, carry-on, seat selection and even a full meal. So you pays your money, it takes your choice. If you really do want to fly on a budget, you can do, but if you want any comfort, then it doesn't seem to make much difference whether you go no frills or one of the old-fashioned carriers. But if you've flown on WOW, Norwegian, let me know how you felt. I've had Norwegian on the show about a year ago now, I think, and they do have some good prices from Gatwick to America. But if you've flown with Norwegian, please share your experiences. Drop me a note at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
Hey Dave, it's your round, mate.
Yeah, my throat's drier than the Gobi Desert.
All right. Beers all round, yeah? Okay, which one of you jokers has got my wallet?
Well, I haven't got it. God, he'll do anything to save a few quid.
Yeah, that's right. He's always had short arms and long pockets.
Seriously, guys, someone's nicked it from my bag.
If you lose your wallet, passport or tickets while you're on holiday, your mates winding you up will be the least of your worries. Keep your valuable stuff locked up safely when you don't need it. And if you're on the beach or by the pool, only take the cash you need.
For more information, go to gov.uk/knowbeforeyougo or follow us on Facebook or Twitter.
You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. You may remember the passenger taken off a United flight. Well, it's happened again, but this time in the UK and with EasyJet. The two passengers had already boarded the EasyJet plane at Luton Airport when the airline realised it had sold more tickets than there were seats available. The carriers then alleged to have failed to tell the couple about their rights to compensation and alternative flights. The couple paid £678 for tickets to Sicily for a 6-day Easter break and had booked £1,270 worth of non-refundable accommodation and transfers. This is according to a news story in The Independent. However, after boarding their flight on the 10th of April, it emerged that there were too few seats, and the couple were ordered to return to the terminal and to collect their luggage. One of the passengers said, "This was an incredibly humiliating situation. The airline had overbooked and we were involuntarily off-boarded from the aircraft by 2 airport staff in front of a packed plane. The only difference between us and the chap involved with the United Airlines is that we weren't physically dragged off." As with other airlines, EasyJet does overbook some flights and sells seats which technically don't exist because it always expects some no-shows. Subsequently, when more passengers turn up than the number of seats that are available, the carrier is legally allowed to offload passengers. However, regulations from the EU specify that in this instance airlines must follow a number of rules. First of all, the staff must seek volunteers who are prepared to fly on a later flight in return for financial reimbursement. If there aren't enough volunteers, passengers must be selected to be offloaded, provided with written details of their rights and given hundreds of pounds in compensation. The airline must also find alternative flights to get them to the destination as quickly as possible. The couple claim that EasyJet failed to comply with these regulations and said they did not see any attempt to find volunteers either at the gate or on board the plane. They also allege that they were not informed about the €400 they are each entitled to. They were told that their only option was a flight 4 days later, rendering their 6-day break pointless. EasyJet later told The Independent, "We are generally sorry for what happened." So back to United Airlines. The airline has now changed its policy on employee travel, so crew members will not be able to force off-paying customers already boarded to give up their seats. The carrier says it has imposed a cut-off time of 60 minutes before departure for all bookings of flight crews on its own planes. Crews could previously be booked in until the time of departure. United is also reviewing its compensation policies, according to a memo to its staff. Members of United's Miles Plus frequent flyer programme were also told about the changes in a letter signed by the CEO. In it, he spoke of his shame at the incident and said he wanted to apologise for not living up to the values you expect of us. We know we did not measure up, he said, and that we will redouble our efforts to earn your trust. The letter explains, first, United will not ask law enforcement officers to remove passengers from our flights unless it is a matter of safety and security. Second, crews travelling on our aircraft must book at least 60 minutes prior to departure. Third, we will fully review and improve our training programs to ensure our employees are prepared and empowered to put our customers first. Our values will guide everything we do. We will communicate the results of our review and the concrete actions we will take by the 30th of April. And their letter is finished by saying, thank you for granting us the opportunity to re-earn your trust. Well, last weekend, a couple travelling on their own wedding were escorted from a United flight over a seating issue and claimed they were too late for their own wedding celebrations. The couple claimed they were last aboard the Houston, Costa Rica flight and found a man asleep in their allocated economy seats. Rather than disturb him, they sat a few rows up where there were plenty of seats. However, because these seats they chose were economy plus, they were asked to move. The couple claimed they returned to the original seats, but the couple claimed they returned to the original seats, but then were told by a US Air Marshal to get off the plane, which they did. The groom said the way United handled it was strange and absurd. United issued a statement saying that these passengers repeatedly attempted to sit in upgraded seating which they did not purchase, and would not follow crew instructions to return to their assigned seats. We have been in touch with them and they've rebooked their flights. However, despite all the recent flack, including Leggings Gate, the latest denied boarding rankings from the US Department of Transport show United Airlines isn't the worst airline for bumping passengers. Other airlines also have a history of bumping passengers against their wishes, and the Federal Aviation Administration recently fined 4 major airlines for failing to accurately inform passengers about how much compensation they are entitled to if the airline bumps them. United was among them, and the others were American Airlines, Southwest Airlines and Alaska Airlines. The report from the US Department of Transportation examined